I'm going to show you how I hacked these AI glasses from Meta to show me a terrifying amount of information about everyone it sees using facial recognition from this little tiny camera. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nidus Anarchy series. I'm your host Adam, CIO and co-founder in Nidus, and today I want to talk about how I reverse engineered the Harvard Kids Meta glasses hack that doxes people real time. And oh my gosh, is it terrifyingly easy to do. I did the whole thing in 2 nights. Let's just talk about this thing for a minute. So everyone has seen this video by now where these two guys, I've already covered it myself, they took these glasses, which are the Ray-Ban Meta View glasses that can real-time record, take pictures, and even has little speakers that come in here so you can listen to music and take phone calls live. These things are actually pretty rad. So that video inspired me to want to duplicate it. I wanted to see how easy it was, what the technical limitations are, because this seemed like something terribly cool and I wanted to know how to do it myself, and they weren't going to release the source code, so time to make it myself. So I ordered a pair of the Meta glasses. Amazon delivered in 2 days. Awesome. 2 nights later, I have the whole project working. So let's talk about the tech. So first off, the tech that everyone's freaking out about really is the fact that these glasses let you walk around, view people's faces, and then all of a sudden on a phone, you have all the information about them just by these glasses viewing their face. All of that is true. I was able to duplicate it, and I'm going to show you right now these glasses in action with my hack, and I call it Carnivore. Here we go. Okay, so now that you've seen how it works in real time, I'm going to break down the tech and each of the pieces, and I'm going to explain how I did this whole thing. I am not going to release the source code. For the exact same reason they didn't release it, I'm not going to release it. This stuff is so easy to do, and it should be in no one's hands. Like, this is just terrifyingly simple and massively invasion of privacy. So I don't condone it, but again, as a security researcher, this is the kind of thing that I gravitate to, is I want to see how it is, because now what's going through my mind is, okay, now that I know it's possible, how can I protect myself? How can I protect my family and friends? How can we protect ourselves from being doxxed from people wearing glasses like this? So first off, let's talk about the glasses. So these are the Ray-Ban Wayfarer glasses from Meta. They are amazing. I love them, actually. I actually just ordered another pair that has the transition lenses. I don't like the polarized ones, so that's where I kind of messed up. But it was to get the hack done, and the hack works. So these glasses are pretty rad. In the top left-hand corner is a camera. It does video and photos. In the top right here, this is a little light that goes on when you're recording video, as you probably saw in the beginning of this podcast. Also in here are 2 speakers that come out near the ears so you can hear audio. You can listen to music, you can take phone calls. It's got a microphone. This thing is amazing. I love these things. And in a recent, I don't know what it's called, tech note or whatever from Meta, Zuckerberg was saying that he feels that the glasses and wearables are going to be the future and replace phones. They feel they really missed out by not having a Meta/Facebook phone, and they're not going to miss out on the next thing. And they really believe it's going to be wearables, more specifically glasses. And they have the Meta Orion glasses coming out later, which have augmented reality in the lenses, which is going to take this whole hack we're talking about to a whole new level. Anyway, glasses are awesome. They run about $330. Got them delivered pretty much next day, actually, on Amazon. Really top quality stuff, too. So the case, this is the case that it comes in. Looks like a sunglasses case, right? But look at this. This is actually how you charge the glasses. So if we put these bad boys back in here, just plop them in, and then it tells you that the casing, USB on the bottom, USB-C, and a little reset button here. Really high-end leather, quality build. And this is the box that it came in, just to kind of show you all the stuff. This is pretty it. These things are pretty rad. Now, do you need the glasses to do this whole hack? No. You could do the whole thing just with your phone with the camera on your phone. Like, that's really, and honestly, it would work better. The thing is, it's just that when you're walking around with just a pair of sunglasses on, no one is thinking you're recording them, so therefore you can get this information a lot easier, and then you can talk to people and they think you're just talking to them with sunglasses on. Also, when you have your phone out and you're like this, you know, people know what you're doing and they're like, oh, what are you doing, right? So that's really it comes down to. That's what the glasses are for, is it really just breaks down that barrier of like people feeling like they're being recorded, which allows you to get clear pictures of their face and then get information without them knowing that that's how you got it. So how did I do this? Now, I'm not sure exactly what they did. I assumed what they did and I did it my way. So first off, I started doing this way too hard. I started building AWS Fargate with recognition, using Amazon Kinesis and having a pipe of all the feed, and it was not working out well. It was a pain to get the video into Kinesis, so I just said screw it. I'm like, I'm making this way too complicated for what I'm trying to do. I just want to see that it works. I just want to prove out what they did is real and legit, and just to do it myself. So I just sat back and said, look, keep it simple, right? Let's just make this thing work. So here's how this works. So Meta, when you stream the video off these glasses, you only have two places that you can stream the video. You can stream it to Instagram or Facebook. When you take video or you take pictures, they save to the glasses and then they sync to your phone over Wi-Fi. So that's not really the best way. So if you want real-time live streaming, like I don't even want to say like that, like you see in the video, and I'll explain that in a minute, but like you think what's happening, right? I'm wearing glasses, walking around, I see your face, all of a sudden on my phone, I see who you are and I have all your information. So to do that, you need to stream. So for the live streaming, it has to go to Instagram or Facebook. It's the only way. So the first step was, how do you hijack a live stream off of Facebook or Instagram? I chose Facebook just because I had to pick one, so I just went with Facebook. And from there, I worked on how to get the stream off the site. So first there's an app called YT-DLP. And I shouldn't say app, it's really command line. It runs on a Mac, it runs in Python, because I built this whole thing out in Python. So YT-DLP, and this thing will grab the stream from Facebook. From there, I would pipe that stream into FFmpeg locally. And then one of the first things I noticed was getting the video from FFmpeg to AWS Kinesis was a nightmare through that hop. His delays, lags, drops, it was just stupid to try to figure out. So instead, what I did, instead of piping the whole stream and trying to real-time face analyze the stream, I just dropped frames. So I would just drop maybe, 10 frames a second into a folder, and then from there I'd have my machine just rip through each image and detect a face. If it did, it would take that face, isolate it, find, like around here, and then from there it would upload that to a reverse face search engine. So what that is, just a public service that's out there. There's tons of them out there. You can find them on your own. So through an API, I just post the face, and the face then, it takes a while to do the search, as you saw in the video. Like you can watch the percentage go. It's searching through hundreds of thousands of faces to do comparison, and then what it does is it comes back with all of the face matches. Now what I've noticed is some people, for this one service that I'm using, it also returns the image as a base64 encoded blob in the actual JSON object of the face that it thinks it matches. So you can see all the faces that it thinks who that person is. And then from there, it gives you like name, age, date of birth, location, and a little bit of blurb about them, if it has it. A lot of times it'll say it's unknown, it can't find it, it'll be completely off, whatever. So from there, what I did is I was like, okay, we'll take the one with the highest score, which has the highest probability of being a match, and then show that on the app. I'll get into how I built the app on the back end in a second. Show that on the app, and then from there, the user can tap on it and view their information, and that was working. And that was the first step where I was like, holy crap, this is absolutely possible. The problem was, very, very rarely was the face that's showing up there actually the person that I was seeing. And that was my biggest frustration. I was like, what the heck is going on? So as you can see in the app, I changed it to now what it does is it grabs all the faces and images that the return search gives back to you, and it presents them all to you on the app. So when you tap on the face of the person that you saw, it'll open up and then show you, hey, look, here's all the matches I found based on that search. Tap on the one that is that person. So when you tap on it, it gives you the brief of that person, and you can confirm saying, yes, this is them. When you do that, the next thing that's happening is that app is making a call to a Lambda. That Lambda is then making another API call to another service that is taking the name and info that it got from that first reverse search, and that's doing like a People Finder search. I'm not using them, I'm not paying for anything anywhere, but there's stuff out there, it's very easy to find. So I'm searching for the user, and then I get back a bunch more information. Now I'm getting crazy stuff. I'm getting name, date of birth, I can even get social security number, because we all know where that's coming from. Addresses, not their current address, but all the addresses they've ever lived at, all their phone numbers they've ever had, their carrier provider, zip code, cars that they've had, spouse, family members. I can get their neighbors. I can get their, I can tell you if you have to have liens on their houses, how many vehicles they've ever purchased, if they have any judicial orders against them, if they're on the sex offenders list, if they've ever been convicted of a crime, if they're on the DEA watch list. What else is on there? A whole bunch of other just random background information, associates, so people that are commonly seen around that person as well. And then I can get all that same information on all their family members and all their associates all in one call. So the amount of information I can receive is vastly larger than what you're seeing in the app and what you're seeing in the demo that we're showing here. And they're probably getting the same information as well, right? So the information that you can get on someone that's just out there is nuts. So I highly recommend that you go to all these services. There's actually a white paper that was put out by the New York Times that lists how to remove yourself from all these services. Dumb me went and removed myself and then decided to build the app, trying to use my face to find it. Can't find it. That was a dumb mistake. So I just used somebody else. But anyway, so this is what's crazy. From your face, we can get all that information. It's insane. So now what happens is once you confirm the face, it now grabs all that info. I was only getting some of the initial scary stuff, and then it fills it up on that record and then dumps it and shows you on the app and says, hey, look, here's all the information about that user that you're looking at. And that is really the service that's running and doing all this magic. Now, the app is actually just an HTML5 app. There's nothing crazy about it at all. It's just constantly refreshing. It's just looking at a JSON file in the cloud, and that's where I'm having all the information. So the server that's running through all the faces and making all those calls is updating this JSON file, and then the Lambda is updating the same JSON file, and then this app is just polling for it, and then rendering the screen based on the data that's provided in the JSON. So from there, you can kind of figure out how this whole thing works. It's really not difficult, and with the help of AI doing the development, like through OpenAI's Canvas and Anthropic with their artifacts, this thing was built, I mean, from idea until what you just saw, 2 nights worth of work. Not like 2 full days, 2 nights. Like after I'm done doing my real stuff, at night, I totally neglected my family and just did this. So it's been crazy. I've been itching to put this out just so I can put this behind me. But yeah, so it's super simple to do. Now, here's some things that I've noticed in my development of this, which I'm pretty sure they had as well. And rewatching their videos, I think that they had these same experiences, and the video that they showed was a little, I mean this in the nicest way possible, I don't know how else to say it, but it really wasn't honest to how the system works to what you see. And I don't think they were purposely trying to hide anything at all. I just think they're just editing it to show you, hey, look, this is what we've done, look how awesome it is, and it totally is. So here's the caveats of what you're not seeing, right? So first off, the video quality of this camera that's on these glasses is amazing and horrible at the same time. What? That makes no sense. Here's why. When you take a video, you just click the button and take a 1-minute video, or you can take like 30-second, 1 minute, 3-minute length, but it's defined, like it will stop. You can't just go forever. So by default, it takes a 1-minute video. So when you hit the button, it takes a minute video. That video looks amazing. That's like right from your phone. The quality of those videos are awesome. And that's why I love it. Like when I'm playing with my kids and stuff, I can just hit the button while we're doing stuff, building things and using my hands, and it frees you up to do stuff and really enjoy it, and you get real reactions from people. So it's actually pretty cool. Now, how does it suck at the same time? Well, when you're streaming live, like when you're doing live Facebook streams, which I was doing to then capture the live feed to do all the facial rec stuff, that video is more often than not garbage. The compression, it just can't do it right. So when you watch the raw videos of these feeds, like when I'm walking around the hardware store, the pizza place, I mean, you'll see it's so choppy. I mean, it looks like almost like an old Motorola flip phone quality sometimes, and then the feed just completely drops. So from a live feed perspective, it is not there. Like, especially if you're walking around, maybe you have a very solid connection, you're not moving, you're just talking kind of like we are here, that would probably work out fine. But once you start moving around and it has to compress all that movement, it just can't do it on the fly, and it just looks like garbage. And what happens is it doesn't detect faces. The faces that it does detect, the picture is so bad it matches it to pretty much just anybody. That's the real problem. Now, could I just take a video with my glasses, and then when the video's done after a minute and it's synced to my phone, just upload it to a service that then does the exact same thing? Yes. Would it work better? Way better. Would I have a lot better match? Oh yeah. I'd be able to score way more faces, way more matches, get way better data if I just did the record of the video, uploaded it, and then get the information back the same way everything else is happening. The problem is that just didn't stick with the real test that I wanted to develop, which was real-time live facial recognition data retrieval. So If I wanted to actually do this, if I really wanted to be a total creep and go out and just record people and find out who they are, I would record video with my glasses, sync it to my phone, and then process it. It would actually be faster, easier, and get way better success rate for sure. But that wasn't the point. That wasn't the whole idea behind the hack. So we still went ahead with the streaming and made it more difficult for no reason other than I guess I'd just like to make my life difficult. Now, addition to that, the video that they released, when you see them talking to someone and say, hey, are you so-and-so? And they show the app and they're like, oh my gosh, it's me. That's the big oh my gosh moment right now. What I believe, and they can correct me if I'm wrong here, is that those videos you're watching are like what I just said. They're recorded videos. They've already got the information and now they're going back to that person. So what they probably did is they're going live, and then while they're live, they're just kind of sitting there as people walk by and they look at people, say hi or something to get them to look at them in the face. And then it's just capturing all the different faces. And then when they find one and it has a good match and it has all the data, then they go, okay, we got this one. Then they just approach that person. Hey, are you so-and-so, blah, 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 with the recorded video. That's why the video looks so good. That's why the data is already there, like what looks like real time, and so shockingly amazing. They even say in their white paper and online that it was a hack and it doesn't work right a lot of the time. So I want to make it clear, I don't think they're trying to persuade anyone or pull the wool over anyone's eyes. I think they're just trying to get the point across of what what they built and what it was doing, and it was doing that. Just like mine is, it grabs the information. It's just that there's a severe lag in that whole retrieval, and the video, capturing that live streaming video is just garbage half the time. So you're really just, if you have bad data to start with, it just makes life more difficult when you get into the AI facial rec side. Now, how did I get more information from these people after I did that initial people search, right? So first we get the face. Once we have the face, we get basic info to match. Once we have a match, we get a lot more info, like all that crazy, scary info from a service with the API call. Additionally, what we get is we get a list of URLs that this person has been found at. So I would crawl all those URLs, scrape the entire website, and then take the whole thing and make an open API call and have the LLM say, hey, take all this information and give me back, I want to know their first name, last name, I want to know all this kind of stuff. I want to tell me about them, group it all into a paragraph and in this JSON format, and that response comes back to me. I take that response, add that to the JSON, and that's how I'm getting fully enriched profile data on people just from viewing them wearing a pair of smart glasses. It's not difficult. Like I said, I did this in just 2 nights because I was just really adamant about making this happen, and I made it way more difficult than I had to just because I wanted to adhere to the true reason of doing this, which was, again, was real-time streaming, facial recognition, and getting that data access of those people, find out who they are. It's terrifying. It was a lot of fun to build. I love these kind of things that are pushing the tech a little bit farther. If you've done something like this, if you're also working with these glasses and doing something crazy, I'd love to hear about what you got going on. Also, again, to the original OG guys at Harvard, if you want to come on and talk, I'd love to talk with you guys, because I think it'd be fun to compare notes to see what you guys have done and how we kind of did things. We can do some code sharing to kind of show how that works out there. Lastly, I want to say thank you to the guys at Harvard, because I love it when people are pushing the boundaries like this, because that's what gets me going. That's what gets me excited about doing new and more fun stuff, because like, I am not going to continue developing this project. I can tell you that right now. Like, after this video, I'm putting it all behind me. But what was learned from this, and what I now know is capable, and how to do all this stuff that I just learned over these past 2 nights and with hacking these glasses and doing fun stuff, it just opens up another possibility of a puzzle block that I can use to solve another problem later down the road. So the glasses tech is only going to get better. Streaming services are only going to get better, which means this is only going to get better. So now the question is, how do you protect yourself from this, right? How do you make sure that you're not being recorded and your face isn't just getting blown up and they know all the information about you? So first off, go to all these websites. I'm going to post a link to the white paper that's released that has all the links to remove yourself from the largest sites that are out there. This is what you want to do right away. Sometimes they'll tell you you need to upload a picture of your driver's license that's redacted. You don't have to do that. You can just email them and basically chew them out and say, remove my stuff, and send a selfie and stuff to prove you are who you are, and you can get it down that way as well. But go through, wipe out your existence online. They can post this information, they sell this information, but if you tell them they have to take it down by law, they have to. So go around and tell everyone to remove all your info. Then now, once you kind of cleaned up your online thing, that still doesn't prevent people from taking your picture. So I guess just wear a mask and facial coverings, and then you don't have to worry about it. Obviously, no one's going to do that. So one thing to know is that there are now devices like this, right? This is important in itself. The fact that these glasses exist, and now you know that these glasses can be used to record people, you want to look for these lenses. If you see these lenses, they might be recording you. Now, to know if it's actually recording, if you look right here, you'll see a little white light pop on. That's it. That's how you know that these glasses are now recording. And then when it turns off, it goes away. I could easily put a piece of electrical tape or just splotch black paint over top of that lens, maybe some nail polish, so if I want to remove it later, no problem, it's gone. And ta-da, you don't know it's recording anymore. And it still looks shiny and you still think I didn't do anything. So there's obviously still ways to get around this. But the big thing is you're just going to have to be aware that people wearing glasses now have the ability to be recording you. Look for the lenses, and if you want, tell people, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you wearing those things in here. I don't want you in my house with those things. I sure as shit don't want people in my house wearing those things. Just walking around recording everything that they're looking at, that's crazy. So knowing the tech that's out there and what's capable is a good thing, because now we know from our side, when people are around us, we know how to react accordingly. If anyone comes near me with these glasses on, with those lenses, I'm going to assume they're basically walking around like this, and I'm going to treat them the exact same way. So that's the other side. So clean off your profiles online, get rid of all that information, and then be on the lookout for people wearing these glasses. The problem is they're beneficial. They're nice to wear. They're nice to be like, hey Meta, what is that thing? Hey Meta, when was this building built? Hey Meta, what kind of plant is that? It's crazy the cool information that it gives you. It has a lot of really good features. So even I'm going to be using it, but I think it's like the cell phone. It's one of those things where it's so annoying now, but it's like now that everyone has it, everyone's just used to being filmed all the time and no one really cares. This is just going to be another numbing device, I feel. Like everyone's going to have these things on their faces. Everyone's going to be wearing glasses all the time. Everyone's going to be constantly recording and streaming everything, and your privacy is going to utterly disappear. So if you want to be part of my brain trust that I'm trying to figure out how to protect people's privacies, let me know, and I'll bring you in. We do a monthly kind of like a deep dive of basically all of my friends that are in very different industries that are way smarter than me, because I feel like you got to have smarter people than you around you to really learn stuff. We kind of have a think tank, and we meet up talking about how AI and different systems and bad things, like what's really going to happen, what type of losses are we going to have, what type of economy crashes are going to occur, because we want to know how to prepare. Where do we put ourselves? What's the technology we can put out? But also we have a completely separate sideline conversation, which is how can we protect ourselves and others from this technology? What are things that we can build? What things can we do? And legislation is not the answer. Okay, I am not a fan of that, just to put that out there. I think there's technological answers out there, and that's how I want to solve this problem. So the glasses are awesome. This just is a whole nother thing we got to think about when it comes to privacy awareness. We will get there, but in the meantime, you might want to be aware, because this type of tech and streaming facial rec, it's only a matter of time. And when I say matter of time, I mean weeks, because the way this thing is blowing up, someone's just going to flip this thing into a service and be like, hey, look, put in your Facebook Live URL here, and then go to this website, and here it all is. Pay me $10 a month and I'll give you the service. I could make this a SaaS app in another 2 nights and start charging for it. There's no way I'm getting involved in that. I don't want to be anything to do with it. But the fact that you can do it, it's kind of like hacker mentality, right? It's like you want to learn how to hack and how to break the things, so therefore you know how to protect it. You know how to prevent the bad things from happening. So as a hacker and as a security professional, this was a fun project, but the white hat in me really comes out on this one, because I am very pro privacy, and this is going to be scary. So I wish you guys the best. Stay safe, stay private. Later. Nidus has just created the first iOS app made exclusively for identity management professionals. It's called Nidus Breachcast, and you can download it now. It's amazing. We have real-time updates of all the latest breaches that are occurring, CVEs as they come out real-time, really pertaining just to identity management. We have media that's going on this podcast. We're going to be bringing in a lot more others as well. And we even have a complete vendor list of all the identity management vendors and all their products, so you can find out exactly where to download their software, all the documentation. And what's even more awesome is an identity management glossary. All those crazy words and acronyms that we can never remember, they're all listed in there for you. No ads, just pure information to make your life simple.